Technically it's mixed media. Most of my end products are digital, but I always start out with a pencil underdrawing, and I do digital line work in Procreate, and I color in Photoshop, and I animate in Photoshop and After Effects. So it's kind of a broad range of things. So that's why I say mixed media. I mean, I've been drawing, illustrating since I was a kid, but I got serious about it and started leaning into more professional illustration work about 5 years ago. Accomplishing things professionally within the world of illustration is super validating and exciting and intimidating and enthralling and all of those things at once. And yeah, I mean, it's like a whole range of things, but mostly it's like super exciting because illustration is such a meandering career path, and it's so untraditional, I think, in the normal sense of a career. And so I think once accomplishments start coming down the pipeline, it starts to get exciting and validating in a way that's different than like a traditional career trajectory. I had a few successes submitting to awards shows, fortunately. So I was able to get awarded by 3x3 Illustration Annual, as well as more recently Communication Arts Illustration Annual, as well as American Illustration. So it began with sort of getting some validation from an editor who had a credible reputation in the industry that I wanted to work in. And from there, it just progressed to gaining exposure to my clients and sort of starting to get some commissioned work out of that. Every once in a while you have like things that stand out to you in your memory because it becomes like a turning point, and that's one of them. I remember kind of walking outside on one of the trails up behind Camel's Back after my review with him, and I was like, holy shit, like I could actually do this. Like this is something that I could accomplish if I wanted, just because of someone's like opinion. And I don't think it should always be that way, but it worked that way for me and like encouraged me in the right way. And I was like, oh my God, like this is actually possible. Like it blew my mind. I was like off to the races after that. So, and actually I had done an interview with that same editor a year before where he was like, this is trash, this needs to go, you need to take this off your Instagram, don't do this anymore, your website's confusing in this way. And it was actually mostly negative, but he like gave me like 20% encouragement where he was like, you got chops, like you can do this if you want, but you need to like correct these things, like course correct here. And so that's actually like, that's why I came to him a year later, because I had spent that full time like working on the things that he was telling me about in the first kind of paid critique. So, well, it's hard. I mean, like it is hard to make myself sit down and work, especially during the summer. I would so much rather be out on a trail somewhere sometimes. But there's like a certain number I have in my head of hours that I want to work every week to accomplish my goals. And before I had implemented that style of structure and regimen to my creative process, I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted to see. And then by doing that, I started to see the results that I wanted to see. Once I started getting even the smallest little successes, started helped like that snowball and helped build momentum and build motivation to get up in the morning and like put in those extra hours to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. The advice that's never failed me was from my professor at Boise State in the illustration department, Bill Carmen, and he said that pretty much to the effect of butt in the chair, working longer and better. You know, it's just putting in the hours in. A part of kind of the initial momentum that I've been able to enjoy as an illustrator here has been in large part due to the Boise City Department of Arts and History's public art programs like the Traffic Box and just like the various grants that they put out throughout their cycle. The first kind of public art project that I worked on last year was a traffic box. I also worked on a transit shelter last year. The budgets are right, the work is put up in amazing places. It's fun to go see your work in like as a part of the environment here. I think art is important because it captures abstract concepts that we become detached from, that are like intrinsic to our meaning and our like biology and our evolution as creatures. I think it like attaches us to those abstract patterns of behavior that are beneficial to us in life. And I think music does that. I think visual art does that in different ways. But I think if you did away with that, life would be too rigorous and logical.